Hey there, this is K4A Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials, and in this video today we are going to learn how to use Reshape tool in Scratch when you paint illustrations. So by default we have Scratch Cat on our stage, on our scene. It's selected. I click on costumes to check out that sprite, and as you can see, second icon in first row, second from the right. The first one is select, the second one is reshape. When you click on it and click on some part of the cat sprite, I will first zoom to see it better. When you click with that tool selected on some of the sprite's parts, like for example cat's left hand, you will get some kind of dots on that part. I will click on select tool to select that part and move it a little bit to the right, then zoom it a little bit more, then again click on reshape tool, and now as you can see I have 2, 4, 6 circles, like some kind of control circles, we can call them that. I'm not sure how they are called in Scratch or if they have a name at all. In some other programs they are called control points, vertex, vertices, and so on. So I will call them probably something like that. Anyway, the whole idea here is to select some of those and move them around when you want to change the look of some sprite or part of it. So for example, if I want to straighten this arm, I would just click on these buttons and move them around like this. And as you can see, this is not very nice, so there must be some other way to do it, or more precise. And yes, you are right. When you click on any of those circles or control points, you can also see that some of those have some kind of arrows or lines. Those are control handles, and again those have again 2 points like diamonds or something like that. I'm not sure how they are called again, but again you can click on them and move them until you get result that you want. And as you can see, I can have again something better, but still not very good. The whole idea with these are that you have to practice and learn that way, and it may be a little bit tricky at the start. That's why I have chosen this very simple part of the sprite, the arm of the cat, to show it. It doesn't have too many of those control points, but on the other side it's very hard, I guess, for beginner to make it straight. So again, when I click with my select tool, I can click on this part and move it around, but when I want to change the shape of it, as the name says, I click on reshape. Then I can see these control points. I can click on those and move them, or I can click on their control handles and change the flow of those. But sometimes even that isn't enough, like you can see with this guy here. Maybe we will make it, yeah, something like this. Oh, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, this could work, I guess. Let me zoom out. Yeah, like a straight arm. Yeah, this looks much better now. As you can see, we have created completely different arm look here. But what else can we change here? What I wanted to show you is that when you click with Reshape tool, you can also, when you click on one of the points, as you can see in top menu here, you have some of the tools which we have learned before: undo, forward, backward, group, front, back, delete, and so, but you also have two new, curved and pointed. As you can see on those images, curved makes smooth curves and pointed make like a very sharp cut. Let's try some of those. So this here, I guess we would need curved, and I will zoom to see the change better. So again, I have selected this guy here, and I will click on curved and see the difference. It makes it even smoother. I will do that same with this guy here, and as you can see, it makes it even smoother. So I like this better. If I instead used pointed, let's try that one, we will get very rough cut, like a sharp point. You can see, and you can do that when you need sharp points. Yeah, this looks like a feet more. I will undo it once, twice. Yeah. So in my case, this looks good enough, I guess, for this sprite. Okay, so we have learned how to create curved and pointed points, control points. What else? Sometimes you will need more details on your sprite. Like for example, if this shape here needed different look and I couldn't achieve it with moving these already drawn points, I could add point just by clicking between 2 points somewhere on the line. Just click on it and you will see immediately the new control point is made. If you don't want it, undo it, and you can, that way you can click and add and create new shapes. But don't get crazy, don't add points just because you can. It doesn't make sense, because every point here on the shape makes shape more complex in terms of scratch. The less points you have, the scratch will work faster and calculate your shapes faster. Simple as that. Okay, so we have learned that also. Now what? Yeah, maybe we can open some kind of different shape and sprite to see this, how some other shapes are created. So in short, we will use this tool a lot and change the shapes when we want to make complex sprites, when we want to change them, edit them, or create them from scratch. But also sometimes some sprite which you have here in library, some of them have so many points, and some of them are even made in different way, as I think squirrel and those photos of the people we will talk about later, but for now I want to find I think rocket. I think in some of the previous video we have seen, yeah, rocket ship, we have seen that sprite and how that sprite has tons of, yeah, as you can see. So I will ungroup it and then click on reshape, and as you can see, this is crazy. As you can see how many of those control points we have here. Look at this. This is wow. So this can scare you, confuse you, but that's the way some of the sprites are made. And we can show one more feature here, and that is that you can actually delete some of these points when you don't need them, and when you think that the whole shape, the whole line and the flow won't be changed. So for example, if I click on this wing here and zoom it a little bit more, I can see, for example, that these two I'm moving them just to see that you can see what I will be working on. So these two control shapes, they are very close together. So I think if I delete one of those, this one for example, yeah, you can see also that sometimes you can hardly select what you want. So I will try to delete this one. First of all, I will select it, and then I will press delete on my keyboard. You can press also delete icon here, or I think even right click delete. No, it doesn't work. So it has to be delete icon or delete keyboard, and it disappeared, but the shape stayed the same. Why is that so? Because you have too many control points at the same place, and that doesn't make sense. Only 2 points define. If the line is straight, you only need 2 points. You don't need anything between them. And sometimes you can do that, like with this one, for example. I will press delete, and as you can see, we have now lowered the number of control points, but the shape stays the same. And you can do that for some shapes if they're like this one, very complex and have lots of these control points, to make them simpler and easier for you to manipulate. But it's a boring job and hard work, and it doesn't make sense sometimes, because sometimes it's easier just to remake this sprite on your own if you want, from the scratch, with some simpler shapes and lines and so on. So again, just to show you about the line which I was talking about, let me click on line tool, let me click on, yeah, pixel size a little bit bigger, and this is now a line. It has 2 points, one here at the beginning and second here at the end. When I click on reshape, I can click on this guy here and move it, or this guy here and move it. But if I click and add between those, like 3 times 3 of those, I can move them to make some kind of curve. But if it's clear line, I don't need those control points, so I will just click on those and delete them, and the line will stay the same. Simple as that. But if you need to create some kind of complex shape, you can play with those as many times as you want and as much as you want. This is it for this video, and I think we have covered all of the tools here and most of the features. So in next videos we can start making some kind of illustrations by combining some already existing maybe sprites, changing them, editing, or creating some of those from scratch. Until then, thanks for watching and bye for now.